Hey guys, what's up? Eddie Aho here with KissAnalog.com. Guys, who is Uni-T? You've seen me show this scope maybe. This new, this is an MSO 3054 HD. This is an HD model. I think somebody else saw a review of a non-HD model and said, wow, it looked totally different than this one. This is a HD, the high definition. What I assume HD means. It's the 12-bit version. This scope is crazy. It's a loaner. I have to send it back, unfortunately, but I do. So, otherwise, I'd probably replace that GW and stick it up there. But my GW still gets to stay there. Now, the best scope I have is probably the Pico scopes, the ones I own. This scope, pretty dang nice. So, yeah, that goes back. So, Uni-T, no one has ever paid me to do anything on a video. I've never received any money from anybody. I receive free merchandise from companies. Uni-T has given me this multimeter, super nice. This power supply, very, very nice. I like that thing. This Uni-T generator, and this one. Now, this guy here is a crazy great price for how small it is. It's so nice because you can move it around and everything. Love that little generator. But yeah, this guy was given to me, as well as those other pieces I just showed you. But I've done a bunch of videos on Uni-T stuff. A bunch of the stuff I had to return. So yeah, I really like their equipment. Well, I didn't know as much about the company as I started this channel, and then I found out about them. I found out about iTech and Matrix and some of these other companies. But yeah, so anyway, Uni-T, send this out to me. Love it. I'm going to do another video or two on it. Probably have to send it back. But guys, I've learned some things about Uni-T. There's a US branch, headquarters I believe it is, in Texas. Let's jump in this next part of the video and I'm going to show you what I found out, okay? Now, the other part about this video I'm going to show you is if you're wondering what setting up a bench, now if you only stuck with one brand, it's just an example of what a bench might cost. Let's jump in, for nice equipment, right? Now, see this power supply? Oh yeah, they gave me this power supply too. So this power supply back here, it's in the video. You're going to see that as one of the pieces if you're setting up a bench. It's a really nice, heavy, linear power supply. And then I think this one's in the video too, where it shows another option for setting up a bench. So there's that one, or the single output. But let's jump in that part of the video. Let me show you who Uni-T is, what's going on, and what these bench setups are, okay? Hey guys, I just want to jump in for a quick minute here. I really appreciate you subscribing. I'm trying to grow the channel. Like 80% of the people are not subscribers. So 80% of the people watching are not subscribers. It used to be like 70%. But it seems like fewer and fewer people are subscribed. I think that's why the channels just don't grow these days. There's several channels I've watched. Learn Electronics might be one, Paul. Anyway, they're gone now. And I just think that it's hard for YouTubers these days. It's a hobby, but yet it does cost money, all the equipment and everything. So it is nice to have subscribers so you get paid. YouTube unsubscribes people, what it sounds like from what I've heard. So look down below. If it says subscribe, even if you subscribed before, I'd appreciate you resubscribing, okay? Like the video. That's a free way to support the channel. It helps YouTube think like, oh, this video is something people like, and then they'll pass it around. So just want to jump in, ask you guys to do that. Appreciate my patrons, my YouTube members, Danny for being a team member. Thanks so much. And I appreciate Uni-T for providing equipment to me for free, and this equipment just on a loaner even. So still kind of a pain for me because I don't have a lot of time off. I have to go take it to a place to ship it back, things like that. So sometimes I don't like to get loaners, but from Uni-T, I really like the company, so I want to do that for them. And they've provided some equipment for me. So yeah, it's I hope, I see in Texas they're offering jobs for FAEs. I honestly think that I'm probably doing more work than the FAEs are probably doing. So, for the company. But anyway, hopefully it's a win-win, right? So, all right, guys, subscribe, like, all that kind of stuff. All right, let's get back to the video. All right, guys, so I just want to show you this email that I got, and look, check it out. Uni-T. Unite your test bench with Uni-T. All right, guys, look at this. There's news, new customer comments, YouTube's just released, so on. And so what I want to point out here is they're talking about their new stuff and all this, and they say we love your feedback, okay? But check it out, companies around Texas and the U.S., okay? So they're helping universities, dropping off equipment, and so on. So they're kind of talking about that. I want to bring you down to here. Now, they talk about the 5-year warranty. You know, guys, I think the way this works is you get a 3-year warranty. You register your product and you get the extra 2 years. So they want you to register, and then you get your 5-year warranty, which is pretty amazing, right? All right, guys, here's this news alert. We are moving. Have moved to Arlington, Texas. Our building has just been picked and the lease is signed. So this is all fresh news, guys. Uni-T U.S. headquarters is now in Arlington, Texas. Way to go, Texas. You know, Texas is kicking butt these days. They're doing a lot of good things. So they brought it in Uni-T, which is great. Look at this. They're hiring. What does that mean? They're in the U.S. They're in Texas. They're hiring Texans. So Americans are being hired to what? What does it say? Products assembled, serviced, and shipped in the U.S. That is awesome. Look, guys, looking for FAE. Wonder if I should. That's a field application engineer. I wonder if they'd take me for that. I probably reach a lot more people than this FAE will ever reach, right? I think I just had 1,000 people view my last video in the last 24 hours. So let's see an FAE compete with me. Although I don't get paid by these guys. I want you to know I'm not an affiliate. They don't have an affiliate program. Maybe they will now they're starting a US thing. So this is quite awesome, guys. Okay, look. Here's another thing I want to bring to your attention. If you're anywhere near this area, I've heard of this over the years. They have this huge hamvention in Daytona. So it is in May 17th through 19th. Okay, well, so that's coming up pretty soon. And they're going to be in this booth right here. And then look, they've got another one, the Moscone Center. Let's see, where is this? It looks like San Francisco to me. But, oh, here it is, San Francisco, June 15 to June 20. So you got time to plan for that one. So, UniTrend US. Man, it is pretty cool, guys. So, and also I want to bring to your attention, there's a big sale. Man, if you go to their website and look at all their things they have on sale, it says up to 30%. There's a lot of things on sale. A lot of free upgrades too. So that 30%, when you talk about the free upgrades and, well, free shipping, whatever, you know, that's pretty meaningful. Oh, wow, look at this. Who's this channel? Isn't that funny? That's awesome. You know, guys, they don't pay me, but they do support me by sending me equipment review, and then they are, you know, using me here. Kerry Wong, it looks like. You know, I've seen a few of his videos. I like watching his videos, so, you know, sometimes he gets stuff before I do, and so I like to watch his stuff. And sometimes I get at the same time, probably, and I just don't have time to review it. And maybe he jumps on it sooner. I don't know. But anyway, he does a nice job. He does teardowns. I'm afraid to do teardowns when I don't own the equipment. So it's pretty cool that Uni-T lets him do that. I didn't know that I could. And I don't want to potentially damage something that I'd have to pay for. I can't afford to do that. So I probably won't do teardowns on things I don't own. But check it out, guys. Here's the distributors: Test Equity, Test Equipment Depot, and Test Supply. These guys, and Test Measurement, Test Equipment. Now these companies here are the companies that the big boys use, okay? What's cool, and I hope that they keep this model, Uni-T, please keep this model. Keep selling on Amazon, because we don't want to buy through these guys, honestly. Well, at least I don't, because you're paying full price, and I don't know. But if you're working for a company, you'll probably buy from these companies, because then you don't care about spending so much money, and you're going to sign up to send your equipment to them to get calibrated and things like that. But for the rest of us, we just want to buy on Amazon, okay? DigiKey's the next best choice. It'd be cool if you had Mauser, Uni-T. Add Mauser. I like Mauser better than DigiKey. Anyway, so there you go, guys. Just wanted to show you this email and all this stuff, but there's something else. All right, guys, so this is the Uni-T blog, okay? And we're at news here. These are the new things that are coming out, so some really cool things to look forward to. Here's the spring sale, okay? Here's the spring sale. Now look down here. This is something I was not aware of. UniTrend is one of the largest manufacturers of test and measurement equipment in the world. So they say UniTrend US is now open and ready to work with partners here in the US. So this whole US thing is just getting off the ground, it looks like. And these guys seem to move pretty quick. Let's see who... You guys recognize these guys? I don't know them personally. I know some people by email, but yeah, I like to have the names above these guys so I could put names to faces or faces to names. But look, they have this university bench kit, and you know what? Let me just show you this real quick, okay? Some people want to know how to set up a bench, okay? Check this out. The Foundation Bench Bundle. Look at the prices here. If you get this multimeter, right, 3.8 digit, if you get this generator, I have the 962, but this is the 30 meg. This is good. This is a great generator. It's very small. So you've seen it on my bench, right? And you've seen this power supply. And look at this oscilloscope. So add up this. This is for, this is like under $800, guys, that you're getting a full bench. So there you go. So if you ever wonder what it costs to set up a bench, that's a good bench right there. But hold on a sec. This is what they call a comprehensive bench. All right. So you got more digits, 4.8. That's what you want on a bench supply. That's a great bench supply right there. But look, it's only $269. There's other meters that cost way more than that, right? Handhelds. Now here's a upgraded scope, big time upgrade, by the way, and that's $659. Yeah, it's a lot more expensive, but it's also a lot more scope. And then here's a really nice. This is, you may not have to step up your bench this. You could probably stick to this guy up here, because I feel like this guy, for the price, is pretty darn good. But yeah, here's your next upgrade there. But you also could go to the 60 meg version of this one. A lot less than this. So that's stepping up the price, but what they're showing is like, hey, this is a big step up from the things up here. And this power supply, 3-channel, another big step up. And then look at this guy. So this seems like another generator. So I don't know why we have 2 generators on this thing. Up here we had 4 items. Down here, this is like an extra one. Maybe you'd choose between these. But let's just say you stick with this row here. You're at $1,000, $1,500, $1,800 basically. Under $2,000, $1,800, and you have this really nice setup. But again, you could mix and match, right? I'd probably, you could start with these two guys here, these two well, I don't know. It depends on your price. I mean, look at this price for $319 compared to this power supply. I think I'd take this power supply down here, the scope down here, and the multimeter down here, and this generator. So I'd probably add those things up, and wow, what a nice bench. So now, wait, hold on. They have another step up. Here's a step up in power supplies, right? Here, look at all the digits here. 5.5. That's a really nice bench meter. And then, okay, now what do you got? You got a spectrum analyzer. Okay, so if you're gonna go this level, why not? And then you're gonna go to close to 1,000. Well, it's $1,400 for the scope. It's down under 1,000 now, and that's a kick butt scope. So, and then you still got this like really nice generator. So now look, now if you do this bench, now that spectrum, that's doubling the price, right? If you skip the spectrum, you're almost 2,000. You're less than 3,000. But then you add generator, you're up around 5,000. So, but that is a kick butt bench right there. Now, this is what they call the capstone. Okay, you step up to even a nicer scope. Okay, 350 meg with all the deep memories and all that kind of stuff. Again, another step up in spectrum, and then this is a crazy step up in generators. That's a huge step up. That's beyond what most people are going to need. And then an amazing 6.5 digit meter. That is incredible. And then now at that point, we're going to go to this really nice power supply too. Okay, so for all that's getting you up there. That's 2,000, 5,000, 11, 12. That's like $14,000 for all that. But that is an amazing bench. So if you're setting up a company, $14,000, you could spend more than that on just the oscilloscope from one of the other name brands. Oh shoot, guys, we got the research bundle. Oh geez, look at this spectrum. Wow, 30 grand. Okay. Wow, 16,000 for a scope. Still, that's way less than the competition, but man, look at that thing. Oh, here we go. This is a sweet power supply, $1,400. Everything's awesome. The generator, man. And then that 6.5 digit meter, bench meter, is pretty amazing. So that is crazy. That's 45, 47, 51, like $52,000. So if you have a company that is doing super serious stuff and you just want to make sure you can handle whatever comes your way, I think that's going to do it. Yeah, I think that's going to do it. If you're a school and you're teaching, if you have a really nice research lab, then that's what you're going to want. I mean, that's nothing for a research lab. And the capstone projects, if you guys know the university stuff where they go into some serious projects, you're going to want some stuff like this. So, and this is just a specialized bundle. And yeah, so anyway, there you go. There's Uni-T. Okay, guys, so we got to hand it to Uni-T for coming to Texas and setting up a U.S. branch and hiring U.S. citizens, Americans, to build their equipment. So that is super cool that we're getting and I didn't realize they're one of the largest manufacturers of test equipment, but sounds like they are. So now we have one of them here in the United States building equipment, hiring Americans to do that. So super cool, really neat to see that happening. And yeah, thank you, Uni-T, for doing that. So what do you guys think? You want to work for Uni-T? You live in Texas? All right, guys, thanks for watching. I just wanted to kind of talk about this. When I reviewed this video, some people were like, what's going to happen with the costs with things the way they are? It looks like there's a chance that nothing will happen to the cost. So, well, that's yet to be seen. I haven't seen the price changes yet. Have you guys? Anyway, Uni-T's coming to the States to build equipment. That's what we want. Hiring Americans to assemble the gear we're going to buy. So, there you go. American. Is it going to be called American Made? That's kind of funny, huh? But it is a Chinese company still. But headquarters in Arlington, Texas. Pretty awesome. Way to go, Texas, for bringing Uni-T to the U.S. Alright, guys. Thanks for watching. Just wanted to let you know what I found out. And I wanted to hear what you guys think about that. And pretty cool, hopefully, trend. Maybe UniTrend is setting the trend. Alright, guys. You know, I could rhyme at any time, so let me know. I'll be here all night. Alright, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.